problems, but they do not scale up. As I told you that imaging which needs to be done for a forensic investigation, where earlier I used to have hard drive sizes of 8 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB used to take few hours. Now 1 TB or 2 TB or 5 TB hard drive will take few days. So I have the tool, but that tool does not work fast enough. That tool has not scaled up in terms of development of technology of storage. Hence, if what I was investigating in few hours, I need few days to investigate, and that's why cases are being piling up. So what we want is, we want some innovative solutions where we probably only image data which is required for the case. Then we have, this is very important, which is gaining ground, in most of the Western countries, where let's say if I file a case against you, your laptop has everything which you have, or probably your phone also have everything which you have, in terms of your photographs, your videos, which probably have nothing to do with the case, right? You have done a money laundering case, but your laptop also has your wedding photographs. So money laundering file, which is an Excel file which contains the data about the money laundering, has nothing to do with the photograph which are there on the laptop. But if somebody is investigating your computer, he is having access to everything which you have on your computer. He will have access to your private data, as well as it will delay your investigation. Reason is, let's say money laundering case 10 years back and today will have same amount of evidence in some Excel files. But earlier, when I had a small hard drive size, when I did not have all the personal data on my computer, because the hard drive size was small, I have to find only 5 Excel files out of few thousand files. But today, in the same case, I have to find few files out of millions of files. So what is happening is, the important files which I have to find are not efficiently being found out, because hard drive size has become bigger. So not only my privacy is going, the forensic investigation process is slowing down, which is having double problem for me, because the case will not proceed fast enough in the court. And how do I investigate? So can we have some framework which can preserve the privacy, so that an investigator gets only those files which are relevant for the case, but something which is personal to me does not go to him? So can we have an automated framework which can do that? So these are some of the challenges which we are working on. Cloud forensics, everything is on cloud, right? There are notebooks, or there are computers or laptops which do not have a storage media. You connect to the, let's say, Google Chromebook, right? So what happens there is no storage media. If you have to do the normal forensic investigation, there is no hard drive. How do you investigate? Everything is on the cloud. So we need cloud forensic kind of solutions. We need device specific forensic solution. For example, all your Mac devices, you can't take, you can't open them and take things out, right? To take out a battery also from a Mac device is very difficult task. So can you have a device specific solution that this works for Android, this works for Mac, this works for BlackBerry, and so on? That is also something which is very important, which needs to be done. Forensic as a service, which also has not been taken up. So what happens today is, let's say if there are less in number of investigators, and it's like Microsoft Word which you have to install on your computer, but today you can go to Google Doc and do your work directly, right? So can we have a forensic which is offered as a service, where you can upload everything on your hard drive, and some automatically you can extract evidences, automatic everything can happen without you to buy all those tools, because forensic tools are very, very costly. So if I have to do only 1 or 2 cases, why I have to buy all those tools? So can I use something which is known as forensic as a service? Can I offer this service on cloud, so that people can come and investigate small cases, small number of cases, and small size cases also? So all these things are probably happening at some pace, and some of them are already there in some state, and some of them needs to be finalized and probably done in much bigger manner. So that is all I thought to share with you. And at IIIT we also take interns, where somebody who is interested to probably work in this area, he has some idea about a problem which is probably impacting many people and would like to solve it. We will be happy to help and probably host and give our mentorship there. So if somebody is interested, they can send us a mail. And on the website also, on IIIT website, maybe next week there will be an internship related announcements where you can fill form and probably apply. That also is there. So that is one more way we can help. So if you have any questions, you can always contact me on my mail, and it's easy to find me on Google. Write Gaurav Gupta in forensics, you will get me. Thank you. Questions? Yeah, I'm happy to take questions. Which
software tools that make help to cloud forensics?
which help?
Which software and
Tools? Yes.
that make we to help to cloud forensic?
So there are no tools. So that's what I'm saying. Cloud has different challenges because you don't have the storage media with you, right? Cloud means data is somewhere and it's replicated everywhere. So you need to use different kind of solutions. So you want to know what are the cloud forensic solutions?
Yes, sir.
So there are no standard cloud forensic solutions. There are individual solutions, and then you need to probably get into touch with the service providers. Basic cloud is like a virtual machine, right? So while signing agreement with the cloud service provider, you have some kind of SLAs, service level agreements, where you ask them and compel them to give you images after a period of time. So it's like basically investigating a virtual machine.
Also, how can we protect our cloud forensic?
Not cloud forensic, cloud data, right?
Cloud data.
Right. So what you can do probably is, let's say you can use TrueCrypt kind of encrypted encryption schemes. As a user, if I have to encrypt my confidential data, the simplest thing and the easiest thing which I can do is probably encrypt my data before uploading on the cloud. That's the simplest which I can do. But there are many complex solutions also available.
So where?
Sorry?
So solution kahan pe available?
So that's what I'm saying. So depends on what kind of solution do you want. That's what I told you. Let's say TrueCrypt is one, right? You encrypt your data onto your computer itself and then upload it. Or else you can write your own cloud. There are some private clouds which offer you paid service where you subscribe to them and they enable you to upload your data using your digital signature kind of stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, you can change date and timestamp on any operating system or any platform or on any storage media. That's not very difficult. Very, very easy. Multiple ways. You just change the system date and time and do whatever you want to do, or else you can use some kind of hex editor to go to the file system of that particular storage media and change whatever you want to change. Sorry.
SEET command का use करके हम कर सकते हैं.
So that's what I'm saying. To achieve the same thing, the idea is you have to change that into the storage media. You can use any command which accesses system calls which are for moving and copying stuff. The fundamental basic commands.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, ये device specific forensic क्या है, sir?
Device specific forensics is whatever you do probably on a, let's say if you have to take out battery from a Android phone versus an iPhone, is it same?
No, sir.
So if you do, there are some devices which are very specifically built to do something there. You need to understand how that works, and that is device specific thing. So many devices are common, but some devices are very, very proprietary, especially the Mac devices.
Now he has given you the email ID, so you can ask any other question. We have next speaker with us, so let us welcome the next speaker. He'll talk about Shree Parthasarathy, Senior Director, and he'll talk about cybersecurity and security system from industry perspective. Now, as far as implementation is concerned, so we are not talking about the implementation, we are talking about the problems only. Okay, so Dr. Gaurav has told you about the problems. Solutions you have to find, or you have to implement it yourself. Like steganography told you, steganography is one of the way where you can send your messages without being detected whether message is sent or not. It is rumored that the World Trade Center and the communication took place using steganography. So let's welcome Shree Parthasarathy.
Good morning, everybody. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the presentation very short, make it more interesting for you. I think one tagline that I would like for you to take back, if not, is essentially secure, vigilant, and resilient. And what we mean by that is all of us want to be secure, and it is the security forces or the government or the police or anybody who is essentially going to be vigilant. And what you mean by resilient is that they are available at any point in time. So when you look at security, that is the concept that you really look at, that you are trying to secure your enterprise or secure your home or secure your borders, and that is what you're really trying to do. How many of you are familiar with this picture? What do you see here? What do you see? You see a fort. So how were they securing the fort? Walls. Then what else were they doing? Come on guys, you need to be a little more interactive. How else were they securing these? You see the walls. Okay. Then moat. Have you heard of the moat? And why do they need to secure, why do they need the walls, why do they need the moat, why do they need all of that? To provide physical security against what? Right. So now you look at, if this was the physical world, where they had different perimeter defenses, where they had the wall, they had the moat, and then they had the city here. Now take this into the cyber world and think about, this is your network, this is where your data resides, right? What you're really trying to do is you're trying to protect this critical information. You're trying to protect your enterprise. Let's say this is your enterprise, which you are not able to put your arms around. This is the wall, which could be your firewalls, your network devices, your DLP, and all the other forensics and everything that you put together to essentially prevent anybody from coming in. Now look at it. This is your challenge. How do you protect this? Everything is on the cloud. How many of you use Gmail? How many of you use Facebook? Do you know where your data is stored? Where? Where in the cloud? Somewhere up in the sky? You don't know about the location. But ultimately all of this data has to reside in some physical data center somewhere, right? The cloud is a way of enabling these services and making it available for you anywhere, anytime. But ultimately, if you go to Google or Facebook, somewhere in the world, it has to come and reside on a data center or a server, physical hard disk where your data is stored. So this is the same challenge global organizations are facing. Global businesses are becoming more virtual and traditional perimeters are diffusing. This not only applies to the enterprise, this also applies to countries. Today, if you really look at it, we have a standing army, we have a standing air force, we have naval forces, which are all physical security, which are protecting our borders, our skies, our shores. But then one of the key things that is happening within India is we are also building what we call as a cyber army, right? And so each of you as a student, if you're really looking at security as the future, there's significant focus in terms of security in the country, significant opportunities for each one of you from a security perspective. So what is cyber? Cyber is everywhere. Dr. Gupta was talking about certain aspects of forensics, and he was talking about how cyber can be manipulated. So really look at cyber across the world. You have your aircraft. If somebody could actually manipulate the aircraft landing system or the aircraft control system on your aircraft and could do something like that, think of whether you would really want to be flying on that particular aircraft. And my team has demonstrated to a couple of automobile manufacturers who have gone really high tech, where we were able to manipulate the control systems of these high tech cars while they were actually in motion. And these are techniques that are significant. So now you look at critical infrastructure, and all of these, if you were to apply this and look at it from a real world perspective, all of these apply to all of us. Cyber is all round, affects everything: energy, transport, infrastructure, banks, medical, government, safety, security. How many of you can live without your phone today? I see one or two hands. How many of you can live without your ATM? Okay, I guess if I give you a few more years, then when you start earning a lot of money, I think you will not respond in the same way. How many of you can think of not having a computer? So I think what you need to really look at, the world has transformed, digitized. If you go back for 20, 30 years, people did not have televisions at home, people did not have computers, people did not have laptops, none of this really existed, people did not have phones. But today, as you look at it, significant change, and all of these are devices, and as you look at these devices, they transform the way we have to look at information, the way we actually need to secure information. So if you look at it, internet, then you've looked at abuse, anything that can happen. How many of you have gone and changed your privacy settings on Facebook? Trust me, if you give me your handle, I will go and check. I may be able to pull up a lot of information about you. I'm sure Dr. Gupta will be able to pull a lot more than me, because I learned a lot of good things from him today. So today, one of the biggest things is, as we look at the standard application, a lot of us do not care about our own privacy setting. A lot of us do not care about where this information is being shared, and that gives essentially opportunities to malicious hackers and malicious people to essentially exploit that information. For example, if I were to look at your Facebook, come to you somewhere in the crowd and say, by the way, I think I recognize you, you're this person, your father is this person, this friend, and that kind of thing, your barriers of protection automatically start dropping down. That is called social engineering of information, and that is exactly what abusers basically do. The number of incidents is only increasing in terms of malicious attacks. Safety is essential for societies, and we'll talk a little more about what is the responsibility in other areas. Cyber security is a top priority for governments, organizations around the globe. If you really look at a lot of these headlines, every one of them show about essentially how global governments and enterprises are focusing significantly on security. So if any of you are looking at security as a career, focus on it. And now look at these. What is really changing? You have cloud, you have analytics, you have client computing, you have social computing, you have security, you have mobile applications, cloud-based platform. The technology transformation is significant. Even before we are able to secure one platform, the next generation arrives. So it becomes very difficult, and just like how people like us are actually trying to secure, there are organizations, there are terror organizations which are trying to basically break into those particular systems. And this kind of emergence of technology, which and fast-paced, is only causing that much more challenges in the enterprise. So if you really look at it, where are the threats? You have threats from nation states. Nation states are organizations which are essentially state-sponsored. Then you have espionage, you have criminal syndicates, you have activists, you have patch failure, you have insiders. And on the other side, if you were a chief security officer, the challenge that you face is you have to protect the cloud, you have to protect your mobile, you have to protect your social, you have to protect your analytics, you have to virtualization, shared services, you have to protect every one of those. How do you really go about doing that, understanding this environment which is complex, and go back to the scenario that I painted in terms of when you knew what was your perimeter, when you knew what was your brick and mortar, what was the fort that you wanted to protect, and all of a sudden that it is somewhere out there. I need to protect that information. Cybersecurity headlines. This is all over. How many of you have seen these kind of headlines in the recent past, in the last 2-3 months? There have been significant challenges not only in India but also from a global perspective in terms of incidents. and fraud, credit card fraud, ATM frauds, not only in the banking but also in the other areas of public domain. I would like to really present to you very quickly just give me a second. Yes, ma'am.
Cutting edge of technology. We know the world's most high-profile. The internet has opened up a world of opportunities for businesses like ours. Businesses at the cutting edge of technology. We know the world's most high-profile companies inside out. Companies like yours. Who are we? Your worst nightmare.
Of attacks on businesses worldwide, criminals have launched yet another malicious attack on, well, I think he's here.
I've got nothing to say.
Do you think your position's sustainable, sir?
I've got no comment to make.
Do you think your shareholders are going to make of this?
I certainly don't know the full extent of the intrusion.
How long will you be offline?
Do you have systems in place to stop this from happening?
Security protocols have been breached by what I can only describe as a highly sophisticated cyber attack. You can't take all the credit. Want a little help from Jim?
Oh, hello.
One of your managers.
Yeah, yes, please. Thank you.
Jim kindly loaded our keylogger into his PC. Catching up on some emails, giving us direct access to his mailbox and password. Jim's giving us a lot of information. Access to business contacts, emails from work colleagues. Jim's the outgoing type. Hello, Ali in IT. You look like a privileged user.
Hello. Hi, yes, this is Ellie. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Think I'm in there. Thanks, Sally, for welcoming our custom malware into your system. We're looking forward to working closely alongside you over the next few months. There's no hurry. We have all the time in the world. After all, no one knows we're there.
We shouldn't be able to reach the live environment from here, but then why complain if we can?
I bet the vulnerability test doesn't apply to your internal servers. Or not?
Default password. Who forgets to change that?
We have access to all your networks. We're in the database, mapping systems, circumnavigating firewalls across the business. Oh, and did I mention, we're going global on this one.
Je m'enverrai tout de suite. Merci.
intellectual property, confidential documents, personal and financial data belonging to thousands of people throughout your business, from anywhere in the world. We know your secret.
How long has this been going on?
This may have been going on some time.
What are the cost implications of the attack?
He doesn't know what's hit him, or his business.
IT are trying to work it out. All systems stay offline for days while they assess the extent of the attack.
PR are working overtime on damage limitation.
I understand how the data protects.
Then there's the emergency board meeting. Powerless as the share price falls. As customers and investors abandon ship, the board realise that the game has changed.
They thought they knew the risks.
How did this happen? Who the hell is responsible?
Working at the heart of your business has been an invaluable experience. Good to know the door's always open.
Hope all of you enjoyed the video. How many of you think that this could be a reality? Only one? Okay. This is something that we can do at any time, anywhere for most enterprises today. And what you just saw is not a movie. It is reality today as you see it. And it's very important for each one and this is not only something that can happen to an enterprise, it can happen to each one of you. If I were to give you a USB device and you were to load it up, essentially I can take control of your computer and I can have access to all of your personal information and do a lot of damage. Yeah? So I think one of the key things for each one of you, one is to take it on a personal level to see how you're going to protect yourselves on the internet, protect yourself in terms of your personal information, and other is to basically